This wasn't that great.
For months now, many moons, that Andrew Tate is one of the most entertaining clowns the internet has to offer. But today, the circus finally closed. Andrew Tate and that zit that has latched himself on to Andrew Tate like a leech, Tristan, his brother, have both been arrested on human trafficking charges. The clip of Tate being escorted to the police vehicle instantly...
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love when Florida Jesus comes popping after people that are like definitely fucking annoying to the broadest majority. This is Charlie at his best, okay? I love when he just comes out and is like very clearly on one side of an issue. I'm like, oh, so good. Because I know most normies are also on that side.
Went viral, and I really love how the officers are dressed in this video because it looks like they're ready to fight the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but then it's just this goofy goober Andrew Tate. Now, this isn't Tate's first rodeo with human trafficking charges, but last time he just blamed it on swatting, calling it all just fake and a hoax. And all the meat riders that attached themselves to Andrew Tate's butthole like a hemorrhoid, of course, wrote this off as corruption and a bunch of baloney. But now it's happening again, and this one seems a lot harder to just dismiss. But you know what they say, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, well then you're just breaking out of the matrix, am I right, hustlers? The Hustlers University is what Andrew Tate is most famous for.
Get him!
You pay $50 a month for a Discord server, which is the most pathetic thing on the planet, and I think adds to the comedy of Andrew Tate and all of his fans. And in that godforsaken Discord server, it acts as like Alcoholics Anonymous, where people just hype each other up and tell each other their problems with not getting laid or not being financially stable, while getting lectures from people that aren't even Andrew Tate on the most basic stuff imaginable. They hype themselves up as top G alpha males, but they're pissing away $50 a month to learn basic drop shipping techniques and how to do push-ups. I'm gonna let all of you in on a secret.
Yes!
Even the people that are very successful that like Andrew Tate are not stupid enough to be paying $50 a month for advice you can find on WikiHow. It is so embarrassing. It's a scam, and you're not in on it. You're the victim, and yet you're so brainwashed you continue to swallow his whole meat for it with a smile on your face. He is preying on insecure men, and he is doing everything he can to keep you a virgin. When you're a virgin, you're a Hustlers University student. When you're a virgin, you're an Andrew Tate supporter because he's feeding you things you want to hear, and you're taking it as, you know, telling it like it is. Meanwhile, you're unhappy and still not getting laid. And he's also giving you bad financial advice because when you're making money, you'll learn that everything he's saying is fucking worthless. So he needs to keep you just broke enough to afford the $50 a month that you're wasting on his awful, awful techniques and awful advice. Andrew Tate's entire business and career relies on you being insecure and financially unstable. So obviously he doesn't actually want you to succeed. You're just paying money for hopium. Snap out of it. You leaving Hustlers University is you leaving the Matrix, goddammit. Just think about all the money you'll save not paying for that shit. You could afford a gym membership. Then you could access free information for workouts online that'll actually give you results. You can get big and strong like me. This is very long-winded. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked because we're talking about Andrew Tate and it's such a wacky situation. I couldn't help but throw all this in here. But yeah, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, they've been arrested on human trafficking charges following an investigation that's been ongoing for quite some time. And the way that they actually apprehended him is extremely silly. It all ties back to a Twitter argument he had with a teenage girl. I'm sure
we were wrong. Everyone was wrong about this. Okay, the pizza box, according to the Romanian authorities, is not the reason. Okay? We still want to believe it. Like, I understand why you want to believe it. It's because it's really funny. But if you do want the truth, that's not the case. Still funny, though. Still funny to think. Still funny to assume. Just funny in general. But
well, seen it.
Just letting you know, it's not the reality.
Public. He made this statement to Greta Thunberg about the emissions and his supercars and all that. And then she responded with a dunk on him that went viral. It's one of the top 25 most liked posts on all of Twitter right now. It's got about 3 million likes and counting, basically just saying he has small dick energy in response to what he said to her. And this sent him into meltdown mode. He very clearly got a bit hurt by this response. And one of his immediate tweets after this was talking about having sex with her, where some fucking lunatic on there is like, Andrew Tate and Greta need to fuck already. And he just responded saying she isn't ready, which is super creepy and weird, just actual degenerate shit here. And when I first read this, I thought this was just full mask-off pedophilia. I didn't realize...
Oh, yeah. That's actually... I'm glad that Charlie's covering that part of this, too, because it's like, that was insane.
Greta Thunberg was 19. I thought she was still like 16 or something. So when I read this conversation, I thought they were just openly talking about fucking kids. Like, I had lost my marbles for a second. I had to Google to make sure that these weren't just two people admitting to being pedophiles. But yeah, it turns out that she is 19, but that doesn't make it any less awful to say shit like this. But all of this stress of being dunked on in such a big way was clearly very taxing on the smooth brain of Tate. So he then made a response video. And it's a very cringe response video. I actually think they should have slapped on an additional charge for cringe. He should have been hit with human trafficking and overwhelming plus ultra.
It's not the fact that she's 19, even though, like, so many motherfuckers are like, bro, she's 19, shut the fuck up, get over it. Like, holy fuck, dude, chill out. It's the fact that this is a person that has not consented to being sexualized in that way in any meaningful capacity. And it's literally the same fucking shit that Sneeko did that got him banned off YouTube. Oh, she needs a good dicking. When you say that about someone, you are at the most charitable. If I'm being charitable as fuck to someone in that situation, that's literally just sexual harassment, okay? That's what that is. I don't even care to be charitable to these people because they don't deserve the charitability because it's very obvious what they're trying to do. It's sexual violence. The threat of sexual violence is a rape threat, okay? This is not like I fucked your mom jokes. This is something beyond that. This is two people that are arguing with one another, and then the man saying, the fucking almost 40-year-old man saying, hey, you, 19-year-old girl, you need a good dicking from me. If you had that conversation, okay, if you had that, it's not you, dumbass, what? Bitch, you have that back and forth in that situation. You have that fucking back and forth in that situation. In any circumstance, you literally completely have to fucking understand that the other guy is like being a rapist. He said he would teach her a lesson with his dick, dude. Come on. If you can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. Are the sniffles cocaine? Yes, I just snorted some cocaine, and not because I'm like a little congested. Isn't it like saying to a guy that he needs some pussy? Dude, if a fucking 40-year-old man, a 40-year-old adult woman was in an argument with like an autistic 19-year-old who most people only know as like a fucking minor their entire lives, and they went, you just need to get my fucking good ass pussy, that would still be weird and gross. And many of you fucking meninists would say it as a gross thing. Okay? You would. I know you would. In 90% of the circumstances, even when it's not as fucking gross, you still fucking say women are in the wrong. So shut the fuck up. Like, are you really going to act like a fucking 40-year-old kickboxer wasn't trying to be intimidating in that situation because he was getting owned? Really? Really, dude? Come on. Why autism, though? Well, Greta is autistic. It's not like a fucking thing that I made up.
Fucking turbo cringe because this response video was abominable. Anyway, he made this video, posted it out there, big smile on his face, super excited. I'm gonna get the last laugh. You don't dunk on me. I come in here and I fucking dunk on you. But then a nude slam and jammer entered into the equation. The Romanian authorities. You see, in this video, he made a mistake. He included a pizza.
What he said is unacceptable in both examples, but it ain't rape. That's trivializing rape. Verbal sexual assault. First of all, I said in the most charitable verbal sexual assault. Okay? But what it is a rape threat. That is what it is. It's not rape. Obviously, I didn't say he like digitally penetrated her, you fucking sick freak. I never said that. God damn it. The most fucking normal Scottish dickhead in the chat. Holy fuck. Learn English, motherfucker.
Box from a Romanian pizza place, which let the authorities know that he was still in the country. So, after realizing that, they tracked him down and arrested him.
I hate this. I hate this. Please stop. Please stop. Is it the same as you saying get laid legit? No, it's not. There's a difference between saying, oh, like, oh, my friend, you need to get laid, brother, like to get you out of a rut. It's entirely different than you need to be taught a lesson with my penis as I rape you. Okay? What the fuck? It's context. Jesus fucking Christ. Stop. If it was the same, you wouldn't feel the need to turn it into a different thing. No one said that, bro. Come on. What do you mean? He did. That chatter that I'm screaming at literally did. And the weirdest part about it is he's doing it to defend someone who just got arrested for sex trafficking. What the fuck?
Today. The authorities gathered all the evidence they needed, and because Andrew Tate couldn't fight the urge to publicly argue with a teenage girl on Twitter, they got him and his brother. It's almost poetic in a sense. He got finally taken down because he just absolutely couldn't fight his own ego. It's a guy who gets a lot of credit for being smart despite being an absolute fucking buffoon. Like a legitimate goddamn troglodyte. He made this emotionally charged, absolutely pathetic response video to try and look cool once again for his audience, and in doing so, he led the authorities right to him and his brother, who...
Here's the thing, by the way, like, I don't know how to describe it other than, like, he's such a fucking clown in so many different... Sorry. He's such a fucking clown in so many different ways that oftentimes it's, like, difficult to figure out whether he's, like, joking or not. Because, like, Andrew Tate is like a wrestling villain is, like, kind of funny to laugh at, right? Even though he does often go overboard. But also, regardless of his, like, wrestling villain attitude, unfortunately, there are plenty of people out there in the real world who agree with him and take him seriously. So all of a sudden, it's no longer like a wrestling villain. It's just... It's real. It's like an influencer trying to influence people to be more misogynistic and in violent ways.
Who had been, I guess, evading them for quite some time. Pretty wild situation, honestly. He begged, he whined, cried, threw a tantrum, demanding he get his Twitter account back, and that ended up being the thing that put the final nail in his coffin here, it seems. Now, of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the charges and where this goes from.
There are people who want him free. What do you mean? No, I know. It's fucking insane. I know.
Here, but I think it's a little hard to explain away 2 instances of human trafficking with Andrew Tate here and raids on his property. That's not just a common occurrence. That's not something that just happens like a whoops-a-daisy. I guess it wasn't human trafficking. We made a mistake here. We got wires crossed. He's actually completely innocent. That's not something super normal. Of course, mistakes do happen when it comes to law.
Yeah, mistakes do happen when it comes to law enforcement, except like even his biggest dick riders understand that it's not really a mistake. That's why they moved on from, oh, it's no longer a mistake to, no, they did this deliberately and he actually never did sex trafficking. They just did this to take him down. Why? Because the Romanian government is run by feminists, I guess. Yeah, just a bunch of feminists out there in the Romanian government operating at the behest of big feminism, and that's why they fucking locked him up.
Law enforcement, but human trafficking is one that doesn't pop up all that often. And I know a lot of people like to say it's just because Andrew Tate was so powerful and telling it like it is. He was revealing the truth and breaking out of the matrix. What the fuck are you talking about, you goddamn idiot? All he was saying is like, oh, you need to treat women this way, and they're going to treat you this way, and you'll get pussy this way, and you need to do this kind of drop.
Honestly, though, it is criminal. Like, it literally is criminal. Like, his advice was so bad that he should be charged. In a just world, he should go to jail, not just for, like, the sex trafficking, which, you know, of course he needs to go to jail for that, but also for, like, his fucking advice. Because it was so bad. It should be criminal, dude, at that point. It's like, oh, if you if you follow my footsteps, you'll make money, you'll get a Bugatti, and you'll get pussy. And the footsteps are literally just be a dick to women. Be the most, like, painfully misogynistic person you've ever met. And then do drop shipping. It's wild.
Shipping in order to make this kind of money. Like, that's not exactly something that the government's going to have a huge issue with. Him feeding you bad information on getting pussy and bad information on 2022's finishing. Like, he's not revealing any kind of crazy secrets that the government would try and come after him for. He's just an internet asshole. He's just a troll who found a way to milk money out of insecure dudes. That's not something that the big eye in the sky, you know, the man behind the curtain is going to come after him for to silence him with false charges. This isn't some giant espionage movie. It's all pretty simple to follow stuff. Like, if you stop to think about it for a couple of seconds, it just doesn't make any sense why they would come after him if there's no real charges or any, like, real stuff, shady stuff going on. But yeah, the human trafficking charges are extremely concerning now. It's some very serious shit, and I've already seen some extremely hard cope from Andrew Tate's fans saying that human trafficking is not even a big deal anyway. Like, it's blown way out of proportion, or, you know, it's not a real issue, which is super alarming to read. Like, goddamn, to think human trafficking is not a big deal is mind-blowing. Very brain-dead stuff. But again, we'll have to wait and see what happens now going forward since he's been arrested. We'll see what comes from it. But I still find it to be a wacky situation, and, you know, it's a little odd that it's happened twice now. So, yeah, pretty crazy stuff that I thought was important to talk about, and that's about it.
And then there's an update today from 2 hours ago.
Just a wild finale to this year. They've set off the fireworks.
Apparently, also, Andrew Tate's biggest dick rider, the fallen son, Sneeko, who just wants to be him so bad, especially now that, like, Tate's in prison. I assume he's going to do everything he can to, like, get any number of Andrew Tate riders on his side. Apparently he, like, fucking tried to do a hate raid on MoistCr1TiKaL. That's what I heard. Well, not in prison, jail. Sorry, he didn't go to prison. He went to jail. He's in jail for 30 days. The saddest part about this entire process is the fact that, like, our boy Fulcrum is lost.
Is people tossing slurs back and forth. Which is weird. I don't know how he has a homophobic community when he openly admits to watching his girl get fucked by a guy who was in the same bed with him. He even talked about him literally, like, having his, what was it, the dude's nutsack teabag him. Weird how he somehow has a homophobic community. This guy's caught more dick than his own girlfriend, it sounds like.
So what happened? Sneeko was, like, raiding him and calling him gay or something?
Works a little early before New Year's because a fat load of goofiness was just dumped on us like a filthy, stinky golden shower. We received a delivery for a package of drama that not many people ordered or expected. So I just wanted to do, like, a little ESPN halftime show and just kind of give everyone the update on where everything.
Context on Yodi Gang. Yeah, Yodi Gang appeared on Sneeko's broadcast and, like, posted it on his Twitter saying, like, Fulcrum. We lost them.
Things at because so much has happened all at once in just the last 24 hours. It's hard to keep track of. So I'm just going to be here as, like, your navigator on the ship. The first and obviously largest topic to begin with is the Andrew Tate situation with him and his brother Tristan being arrested in Romania on human trafficking charges. At least that's what was initially reported by every major outlet ever. However, this has been developing in a very interesting way. It's like diarrhea in a swimming pool. The water's getting messy because it started circulating on Twitter that he wasn't arrested on human trafficking charges. It was money laundering and not human trafficking. The genesis of this claim started from an account called Rap TV.
No, not Rap TV. They're the arbiter of truth and justice. No!
Which I'm not super familiar with, but from everything I can read, they're not like the end-all be-all of truth tellers, but they made a post claiming that human trafficking charges against the Tate brothers were bogus. It was actually them being apprehended for money laundering suspicion. However, that tweet's now been deleted. And while they've deleted that tweet, this one still remains on their account about it being an alleged human trafficking probe. So to me, that says that they must have got word, like officially, that it wasn't money laundering. However, that narrative still exists on Twitter and has led to massive debates about what's the truth behind their arrest. I haven't seen a single major outlet run with this narrative other than a couple of random accounts on Twitter. Not even like news accounts or anything like that, just actual random individuals running with it, even though that tweet has now been backpedaled. Every major outlet that's covering the case hasn't mentioned money laundering a single time, which I suppose you could write off as a big conspiracy to keep the truth under wraps, I guess, but most of them are just focusing on what the prosecutors are claiming to have found, with like 6 women who had been sexually exploited. These are big claims and obviously nothing's proven yet, so we're gonna have to wait to see how this case plays out, which is exactly what I said in the last video.
Do you think Andrew Tate is innocent? Oh, no. No, I don't think he's innocent. Why would I think he's innocent when I've been saying that he's been openly talking about doing what he just got arrested for years, dude? I also do think he does money laundering as well, by the way, which is why I think it's so funny that they're like, oh yeah, no, it wasn't sex trafficking. It's just like money laundering that he's doing. No, motherfucker, he is doing money laundering too, if you believe him, which is another thing that he has openly admitted, which is, again, very weird. But having said that, you know, he's currently under investigation, not for money laundering for the Romanian mafia, but instead for the sex trafficking
video as well. It's not some kind of done deal. This is a big investigation that's been ongoing for some time, so we're going to have to see how everything turns out. Now, I also do take a lot of information from outlets with a grain of salt, as everyone should. However, when every major outlet, including official sources involved in the case, as well as video evidence of the arrest and everything is coming out, it's no longer just a rumor and potential fake news. There's clearly something going on here. So the reason why I'm mentioning that right now is because this really exploded this morning when Andrew Tate on Twitter made a statement of his own. He tweeted, "The Matrix sent their agents." And this led people to believe that it was all a hoax from the beginning. He's clearly free now, thus all of this was a bunch of baloney. But that's not the case because he was only being detained for 24 hours from the start. It's been 24 hours, thus they let him go, like a fish back into the water. Like he's home, he can tweet, you know, he could even make another video smoking a cigar if he wanted to. But it's not because he's free from the investigation or anything. He's just free from the holding period. From everything I have read and from everything I've seen from the sources, like the real sources, like the officials, he is still being investigated.
Can you interpret this cream of dog political cartoon? Yeah, it's fucking YOLO Swag Studios. Again, speaking about the truth. Masculine idol Andrew Tate was crucified for being too manly by Romani Greta Thunberg, who is noticeably dongless, by the way, doesn't have a penis. And Big Homo gave her the butt money to do this, specifically so that all young, innocent, straight men would become gay now. And you can see that. He says, "I'm gay now." Yeah. This is the truth of what happened. Yeah. What is Zubulor? I don't know what that is. What is that? Ignorant Hassan? I know you saw my last comment. No, I didn't. Thank you for breaking down the nuance. Yeah, I mean, look. What is meth? He's saying like legalize meth, but instead meth, he's saying like men, because men are like meth.
On the human trafficking charges, and they're currently trying to lobby for a 30-day extension on his detainment period while they continue to investigate. So he is able to tweet, talk, and do everything he'd like to do now, But that doesn't mean that proves his innocence. They let him go because of that. At least not in anything I've read so far. Now maybe that changes in the next couple hours. It's very possible. But like I mentioned on stream as well, I am not surprised that he is not being held in prison for the duration of this investigation. Him being released on bail, I could absolutely see being a permanent thing throughout the entire investigation and being able to do what he wants online. Like, that's not surprising in the slightest. But it makes no sense, like a ton of takes I saw on Twitter this morning about, like, how my video is now completely incorrect because Andrew Tate is home tweeting. No, it's not. Everything I said isn't invalidated by the fact that he is past the 24-hour detainment period. That was always going to happen. That doesn't disprove anything. Everything about, like, the claims and all of that are still there, and the investigation is ongoing. He is just able to tweet and do what he wants now because of the detainment period expiring. Like, it's just delusional to say that now it was all just rumors being spread. I bet you feel real fucking silly now, Charlie. No, I was reporting on all of the facts that were presented from the video of the arrest.
Wait, are people fucking... Oh, because he, like, came after Andrew Tate super hard. So, like, when you go after an idol like that, the stands are going to come after you for, like, any kind of thing that you may have said or, like, that you may have misspoken on. Basically, like, at the top of the hour when I serve you a 3-minute ad break, but sometimes I fuck it up, right? Sometimes when I fuck that up and I say, like, a minute or something, you literally immediately would go, oh, fuck you, we got you, you fucking idiot, shut the fuck up. Meanwhile, like, you know, that doesn't change the reality. The top of the hour ad break is coming, right? And if you no longer want to see those ads, of course, at the top of the hour, you can get gifted a sub by Silent Kaya. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Or if you're not lucky enough to get gifted a sub, you can subscribe on your own for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Only because I'm a bit salty about this one. 5 out of 10. You can't be... If you're salty about the debate, that means it was a 10-10. A lot of you get in your fucking fifis when I do a solid one, okay? And you don't give me an adequate debate rating. Magic Al, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Silent Echo, thank you for the 5. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I took off points for being early. Bro, it's literally 3. It's 3 p.m. on the dot. Snoop Hogg TV, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Happy Kemper, thank you for the... Ooh, that's a funny name. Happy Kemper, like the serial killer. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Don't be malicious.
From all of the claims made by the prosecutors and everything going on there. I was talking about those and even mentioning we're going to have to wait to see how everything wraps up, and now we've had a more recent development with what's going on in the investigation, and now he's past the detainment period, so maybe Andrew Tate will even make a public statement about all of this and give more insight into what's happening. Like, this is not something that's surprising or unexpected, and it doesn't all of a sudden magically make everything I said in the last video wrong, because all of those facts are still currently facts, unless that gets overturned in the next few hours, which again, it could happen. It's very possible. I'm not denying that. I'm not there. I don't have a...
Rainy draws a lot. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
Secret camera installed in Andrew Tate's home. I don't know what the truth is. I'm learning the same as everyone else. That pizza box theory had a lot of weight behind it with where that source came from making the claim. So that one is still currently intact as well, and a lot of people are harping on that, like, how could you ever believe it was the pizza box? Well, because they even said it in, like, their initial reports. Like, that is still there, which it could be overturned. All of it could be, as it develops. And so we're going to wait and see. Yeah. I'm just talking about...
Here's what's happening, okay? Here's what's happening. I already explained it. Charlie came after their fucking God, okay? So now that they can't, like, now that their God got... Now they can't actually fucking defend it on, like, the sex trafficking shit. So they're, like, hyper focusing on anything they can. It's like, bro, it is not an important part of this case, okay? The pizza box is not even relevant to the case. The Romanian police weren't like, oh, yeah, it's this pizza that is the reason why we arrested him. Like, because he put pineapple, ananas on the pizza. And that is illegal in Romania. Like, that's not what's going on here. And of course, as is the case in many instances like this, they literally fucking personally have engaged in a fuckload of fake news, ranging from no, Andrew Tate never actually got arrested for sex trafficking, actually it was money laundering, to Andrew Tate is actually free to walk, or, you know, people are coming after Andrew Tate because he broke through the matrix. But none of those fake news ever get addressed on their side because they don't care. This is a one-sided issue. They're just mad and they're shit slinging and they think they got you, but ultimately they didn't get shit. Okay? I mean, it's an overall W for all the people who got scammed by this dude, though, because, like, at least he can't fucking scam you from prison, idiot. You know what I mean?
All of the information that's available and what's going on. So yeah, just wanted to clear that up. And I know a lot of people have been stressing about this with Andrew Tate and his brother being arrested. So you probably...
Yes, I saw Asmongold compare Andrew Tate. Well, he didn't compare Andrew Tate, to be as charitable as possible. He didn't compare Andrew Tate to MLK. But he did say something insane. Like the fact that you can make that inference alone is still, you know, ridiculous. Because the statement he made was like, well, governments are corrupt. Governments do actually go after truth tellers, you know. Like, for example, you know, the government blackmailed Martin Luther King, which was a wild take, which is so wild that I basically thought that he was, you know, joking or something. I thought he was actually memeing. Buy a bear. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. 666 Drain. 66. Thank you for the 6 gifted subs. That was an insane take, straight up.
Probably had a difficult time sleeping, and maybe it's because of the stress, and maybe your mattress just isn't that great. So I'd like to thank Helix, the sponsor for today's video, because maybe it'll help you get some sleep in such troubling times. Pillows. Next up is Logan Paul once again making a fool out of himself. He posted this picture on Twitter, I guess as a little prelude to his upcoming response to the CoffeeZilla video series that exposed him for...
I love you so much, but I fucking hate how you defend Asman so much. He's a straight up full-blown chud. Dude, that fucking... If you think I'm defending his insane take that, like, even anyone could infer is, like, a comparison between Andrew Tate and MLK, while, like, talking about a factually accurate statement about Martin Luther King and the FBI, he literally brought it up as a defense for whether or not the Romanian government was corrupt and was, like, targeting Andrew Tate for no reason. I consider that to be an insane fucking take. Okay? If you think that that is a defense of him, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I think chatters just, like, want me to go to his house and shoot him or something. Like, until then, like, no one is happy. Like, I don't agree. I mean, here. This was the take.
What's the probability that the government wants to frame the Tate brothers? I don't know, probably 50%. I think it's pretty high. Like, government frames people.
I mean, I heard this yesterday. I told you, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous take. It's a ridiculous take. The probability that the government is, like, conspiring to take him down is not even just a ridiculous take that I've addressed when Asmongold said it, but it's a ridiculous take that I've literally addressed numerous times throughout the day, so you know what my perspective is. It's fucking crazy.
You've seen anything out of, like, any of the leaks from, you know, the way that they tried to, you know, fuck with Martin Luther King and people like that? Yeah. Absolutely the government fucks with people.
Yeah. But
it's romantic.
Yeah. Because, as I said yesterday, Andrew Tate is like the Martin Luther King of, you know, beating women and being bald. So for that alone, like, yes, Asmongold is correct. Not a bad take. It's actually a good take. I take it back. Because, yeah, he is doing so much for men's rights in terms of beating women and sex trafficking them and also being bald. So it's huge. That's why the Romanian government's like, no, you can't do that. You can't. You're going too far.
Romania? Okay.
Careful, people will take you seriously. What? I said that Andrew Tate is the MLK of beating women people will take it seriously and say what? He wants to be the Dr. King, but for human bondage. Is Tate's bald activism? Why are you on his side, hedging your future bets? Yes. They mentioned Asmon. Who did? I mean, that's a wild, bro. You can't be saying that. Like, that's just an insane thing. That, like, of course people are gonna say this. MLK's famous letter from Romanian jail. Yeah. Andrew Tate also hates. Andrew Tate hates the privileged white women. That's what he talked about. The myth of the mythical female moderate standing against progress. Okay? They say, "Hey, we get you, Andrew Tate. We get you. Men do deserve to, beat women all the time with no repercussions. However, now is not the time." That's what all these moderate feminists are saying to Andrew Tate, getting in his way. MLK had a dream that Andrew Tate would beat both black and white women equally. Okay, we got to stop. We got to stop with this. We're done. Wait, what? He's right, though. Name one other person in this generation doing as much activism as Andrew Tate. Okay, this is like when the news will like talk about Ben Gvir, right? Who's literally a terrorist by Israel's standards, right? And then they'll say, well, he was a right-wing activist. It's like, motherfucker, what do you mean? He went to jail for terrorism in Israel, bro. Like he hated Palestinians so much that even in Israel, they were like, okay, dog, like, it's too much. Like, you're fucking it up a little bit. But then the news media, when they're talking about it, will say, oh, he's an activist. He's a right-wing activist. It's like, no, man, he's a terrorist. He's like he's a hate monger, bigoted person. And now he happens to be the chief of police. Shouts out to Benjamin Netanyahu on that one. Anyway, that's unrelated Israel news that I just snuck in there. Aiden Ross talking about Tate on a space now. Stop doing this right now.
He's done way more, in my opinion, for me, he's done way more good in my life than obviously those types of little.
And you just explained exactly why he's getting canceled.
Oh, no, there's banned fucking people in that space. I'm not getting in there. Nope. Yeah, there's nope, not touching that shit. Aiden dodging you harder than Neo? Yeah, dude. Why is he so fucking scared to like? I do like the idea of talking about someone. I do like the idea of talking about someone who's like arrested for sex trafficking as like being canceled. You know what I mean? It's like what like cancel culture is when you get arrested for sex trafficking? Like, what the fuck?